I've been feeling anxious lately, so I took a day trip to Santa Barbara, California. The views were absolutely beautiful, and I enjoyed spending time at the beach. I also went to a Himalayan salt cave for the first time, where I meditated and felt deep relaxation. This was definitely my favorite part of the trip. I just got out of my session from the salt room. Himalayan salt is very healing, and initial reactions, I was kind of emotional going in. I just remember feeling like energy like coming up through my body, and then at some point in time I started to cry, and then at that moment, that's when I started to relax into the meditation. Really happy that I came and made the drive up here. It's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I feel really good. I want to cry. I feel really good. I am post Himalayan salt cave experience, and I could tell you right now, I feel so much lighter, like a feather. I feel like I definitely released some things, and we'll get more into that in the video. But I'm so happy that I went. It was definitely a one of a kind type of experience. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the benefits of Himalayan salt. I know in some people's homes, they have like Himalayan salt lamps, and those are actually very powerful. So some of the benefits, I have it up right here, is better breathing, it improves your skin, stress relief, it boosts your immune system, and it promotes good sleep. So a lot of really cool benefits of Himalayan salt. I personally didn't really know that. I looked it up afterwards, and I was like, whoa, like this is actually really cool. I knew that Himalayan salt had healing benefits, but to actually really see what it is, and then the day after I felt all of these things. I felt like I was breathing better. I felt like it was improving my skin. So really cool. And then I pulled up another benefit, which is salt creates negative ions, and negative ions help relax your nerves. So it says when salt breaks down, it creates a high concentration of negative ions in the room. So if you're in a salt cave, there's negative ions in the room. So negative ions can help calm and relax the nerves by normalizing the breathing rate, decreasing blood pressure, and relieving tension and stress. So literally just like a stress-free room, a stress-free experience. It was definitely a great experience, and I definitely want to go again. I think it's one of those things that I can do quarterly, seasonally, like just like a refresh. Like I feel like doing a salt cave meditation would be something that I can do a couple times a year, and just how much that would just refresh my system, refresh my nervous system. Like I'm just excited. Like I've never done this before. I've never really had like this type of practice. So I'm excited to actually like have this be like a long-standing thing that I continue to do. I also wanted to talk a little bit about why I drove to Santa Barbara and why I felt the need to go to the salt cave and really do like a refresh. So I want to say, just like the past couple weeks, I've just been feeling a lot of anxiety coming up, a lot of stress coming up, and I realized that I needed to kind of like face it head on. I know a lot of folks talk about like shadow work and kind of understanding those more sensitive parts of yourself and really having a conversation with them. Something I feel like has been coming up for me lately is just my anxiety about the future. Feeling like if I have enough time to do the things that I want to do, if I'm behind tons of people who have already done the things like a home, marriage, kids, like all of those things. And I feel like I just felt anxiety coming up for me. I felt like I was getting very wrapped up in the conditions I was in and felt like, are things going to change at some point? Are, these things going to manifest in my life? And I was really just doubting it, like really doubting whether those things were actually going to happen for me. And it was really hard to come to terms with because I love my life. Like, I love the things that I get to do. I love the creativity that I have. But I also feel like there's parts of myself and my consciousness that are like, you should be here in life. Like, you should be already doing those things, And so I'm trying to be more understanding to the Brittany that I am right now and not sort of projecting too much into the future into saying, you have to be all the way over there right now, when it's like I'm growing into the person that I'm meant to be. And if that takes time, it takes time. Like, being patient is something that I am still learning to this day. Just understanding what patience means, being patient with yourself is so powerful, because we could really get caught up in where we're at and where we think we're supposed to be, and then everything else that is in your life just falls to the wayside because you're not being present with those things, with those moments. So diving into something that I feel like can be blocking your dream life, I felt like when I went to the cave and I meditated, I literally felt energy release from my body. And you can call this a lot of things. I feel like it was me releasing resistance and tension and stress. And that is the kicker right there. If you have any tension in your life, any stress in your life, any resistance in your life, that is going to keep you from your dream life. Let's talk a little bit about the law of attraction. So, the law of attraction states like energy attracts like energy. However, if you are not a vibrational match for those goals or dreams that you have, they will not be magnetized to you, because being a vibrational match for what you want is why it comes into your life. So the first step, which I think we're really, really good at naturally, is to ask for what we want. Visualize what we want. I am really great at this. I'm really, really great at visualizing what I want. I make my vision boards, I write it down, I do all the things. Step number 2 is to release resistance towards what you want. And this is where I was feeling stuck. This is why I felt that energy release when I was in that salt cave, because I've literally felt the tension in my body, the stress in my body. And that is one of the reasons why I felt resistant towards the things that I want to accomplish, because there's something like trauma and limiting beliefs that were keeping me from believing in those higher goals and in those higher dreams. So this is where a lot of folks get stuck. They get stuck in the releasing resistance step. You know what you want? Number 2, release resistance. Resistance can come up in your body as stress. It could come up as traumas from your childhood. It can come up in a lot of different ways. And so this is where shadow work comes into play, and how we can use shadow work to acknowledge those parts of ourselves, to heal those parts of ourselves, so we can kind of like clear the dam so the water can flow freely. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you're stopping up this river with like a bunch of twigs and all of that, and you have to move that stuff out of the way so the energy can just flow freely. So some different ways to release resistance. 1, journaling. Journaling is great. I really love to use shadow work prompts on Pinterest. Yes, it's a deep dive. You're going to learn a lot about yourself, but I think it's powerful to ask yourself questions that may be a little more sensitive to you, things maybe that you haven't really acknowledged in yourself. And but when you can face that, you can face anything. You can face any of your fears if you can face those parts of yourself that you may feel more shame towards or more, anxiety towards. So, doing journal prompts can be very, very, very powerful, along with meditating. Meditating is a wonderful way to calm your mind. I even want to say meditating has similar benefits to the Himalayan salt. So, it's actually pretty interesting how those two are kind of correlated together. And maybe the most important step, releasing resistance, is to cry. Actually release the emotions. So whether it's crying, if you want to like punch some pillows, maybe you want to scream at the top of a hill or something, like whatever you have to do to release whatever those emotions are. And I did that in the cave. I cried because I just felt like I had to release whatever has been taking up space in my mind. And I think when you can acknowledge it and give it room to breathe, you're just like, you can literally breathe. Like, you can literally breathe better. I'm so glad that I meditated in a cave. Once you release the resistance, you can attract that thing into your life. The dam is clear, the river is flowing, okay? Period. So the first step is to ask for what you want. Second step, release resistance. Third step, receive. I can say, honestly, I'm still working through step number 2. I'm still working through some trauma work. I'm still working through some shadow work that I have to do. But I definitely feel like actually doing the work, it makes me feel a lot lighter than how I was feeling before. Before I entered the salt cave, I was a different Brittany. And now I got it. I just feel lighter. I just feel like I released a lot of things that I needed to. And this is your sign to meditate in a salt cave. But I just think that there's different things that we can hold ourselves back from doing. And a lot of it is because we're releasing resistance. Where's the resistance in your life? Is it from a stressful job? Is it from, being around people who are not good for you? Is it a toxic relationship? Like, we have to understand what is affecting our energy and separate ourselves from those things, because it's not healthy to feel like you're in a space where you're feeling unsafe or unloved. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope this inspired anyone out there to meditate in a salt cave, but also just release resistance that you're feeling in your life. So if you know that you've been stressed out lately, if you know that you've been just feeling a little out of your element, use this as a sign to do the shadow work, acknowledge those parts of yourself, and really just try to navigate those parts of yourself. It may not be, 1, 2, 3 done, but if you take it a step at a time, you will feel so much better and so much lighter. So thank you again for watching this video. Please drop a comment if any of this has resonated with you. I would love to know, has anyone meditated in a salt cave? Let me know. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.